Angeles. What a night there for the Browns. 30-10 over the Panthers. Shedeur Sanders, 14-23, buck 38, 2 touchdowns through the air. Opportunity. Check that box, MJD, real quick.
I agree. I think that Shedeur Sanders kind of went out there and did everything that he was supposed to do to earn more reps, right? That's the whole purpose of preseason, is to get out there, showcase your abilities, control, operate the whole offensive system from the play call, checks, different things, and then move forward.
Game looked slow for him. That was a big takeaway for me. Didn't look like it was fast at all.
Shedeur Sanders just silenced every single doubter with a performance that has Browns management scrambling behind closed doors. While Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel sat out, injured, the 5th-round rookie didn't just get his feet wet. He absolutely torched the Panthers 30-10 and left veteran analysts comparing him to Dak Prescott's legendary rise. But here's what the cameras didn't show you: the locker room reactions, the coaching staff whispers, and why Shedeur himself thinks he let Pop down despite throwing 2 touchdowns and leading 3 scoring drives. What we witnessed wasn't just a preseason game. It was the birth of Cleveland's next franchise quarterback, and the shockwaves are already rippling through the entire organization. Listen, I've been covering the NFL for years, and I'm telling you right now, what happened at Bank of America Stadium last night wasn't just another preseason game. This was a statement. This was a changing of the guard. And the fact that nobody saw it coming makes it even more incredible. You want to know how good Shedeur was? DaBaby. Yeah, the Charlotte rapper who bleeds Panthers blue, literally switched jerseys mid-game. We're talking about a guy who's been repping Carolina his whole career, and he threw on a Browns jersey just to support Shedeur. When you've got opposing team celebrities switching sides during the game, you know something special is happening.
Shedeur, you look so comfortable tonight. Whether it's the boombox as we saw you coming in, the dance and the wrist flexing, or the accuracy and the pocket movement. What did you want to show people tonight?
I'll just get my feet wet. That's it. You know, this is a good practice showing overall. So I feel like I did everything, I could tonight. I feel like there's definitely room for improvement, in many areas overall, and just consistency and getting in my groove. When you don't play for so long and you get back out there, you got to find your rhythm. You got to find your groove. It's the first time for everything. It's the first time not even having Pops as the coach where he know me, you know what I mean? So it's definitely changed and it's definitely different. So it's just adapting to it. But the way how everybody was today and the coaches, I'm just thankful for the opportunity and the guys out there playing. It was different. It was a different vibe.
You mentioned the rhythm. You've done a lot of waiting this spring and summer, but today was your opportunity.
But let's back up. 3 weeks ago, Kenny Pickett was supposed to be the guy, the veteran acquisition who would stabilize this quarterback room while the rookies learned the system. Then comes the hamstring injury. Convenient timing, right? Suddenly, doors are opening, and Shedeur Sanders is getting first-team reps he wasn't supposed to see until maybe week 3 of preseason. And what does he do with that opportunity? He doesn't just take it. He absolutely demolishes it. 14 of 23 completions, 138 passing yards, 2 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, 9 offensive drives orchestrated by a 5th-round rookie who supposedly needed time to develop. The game looked slow for him. That's what jumped out to everyone watching. The speed of the NFL didn't faze this kid at all. But here's where it gets really interesting. And this is something the mainstream media isn't talking about. When MJD and DJ Shockley are breaking down the film, they're not just impressed by the stats. They're talking about pocket presence. They're talking about leadership. They're mentioning how Myles Garrett and David Njoku were celebrating with him like he's already their franchise quarterback.
What did this look like for you, and what is Shedeur Sanders doing to the Browns management and Browns coaching staff as this quarterback competition rolls on?
Well, you want to see some moments with a rookie. I don't care what position you're playing. He provided those moments, and to me, it was when he was backed up. It's a 3rd and long, and he delivers a strike. That's when it was kind of like, okay, that's a big NFL throw. Here he is back in his own end zone.
I love that one. Yeah.
Nice deep in cut. It's right on the money. That is a big-time NFL throw. When you're backed up like this, you're a rookie, it's your first preseason game, you got some pressure. Maybe I'm just going to dump this ball off. Now, he went for it at that point in time, MJD, and delivered a dime.
And that was that aggressiveness we were talking about early on. You got to be aggressive in certain moments in the game. To me, it was the first touchdown pass. And again, when you throw that ball sliding to your left with the corner sinking off, you have the safety coming down. He did a great job. This play here, look, You have the corner sinking and safety over the top, and you're able to fit that ball in there. Aggressive throws win and matters. That's how you have to play the game at the quarterback position. He did that. And the other thing is this. The players around him, you start to see Njoku coming around and Myles Garrett tapping him, and you just start to feel the team kind of like, hey, good job, keep it going. And that to me tells you that there's a lot of guys in that locker room rooting for him.
There was a magnetism that you could kind of tell a little bit there for the number of different interactions, DJ. And that's part of this evaluation too, right?
No question. And I think the other thing is that the Browns, congratulations to them, they have a new trainer because he's healing hamstrings faster than they've ever been healed before with the way that he played tonight.
You know what that tells me? The locker room has already chosen their guy. These veterans don't waste time celebrating with rookies unless they see something special. And when you've got defensive superstars like Myles Garrett giving you props after your first NFL game, that's not just respect, that's recognition. Let me paint you a picture of how this game unfolded, because the story is in the details. First quarter, Shedeur's first NFL drive. 3rd and 9. Instead of checking down like most rookies would, he scrambles for 19 yards and slides like a veteran. The announcers are immediately noting how comfortable he looks. This isn't a kid playing scared. This is someone who belongs. But then came the 4th down attempt that really showed his Colorado roots. Quick pressure, immediate retreat instead of stepping up. For a moment, you could see flashes of those games where the Buffalo's offensive line couldn't protect him. The turnover on downs had some people questioning if he was ready. That doubt lasted exactly 1 drive. Second quarter, Browns get the ball back after a muffed punt. This is where Shedeur made his statement throw. Watch the film. He slides to his left, gets pressured, but instead of panicking, he sets his feet and delivers a perfect strike to the end zone. The window was tiny. The pressure was real. And he threaded it like he'd been doing it for 10 years. MJD called it his best throw of the night. And he's right. When you're backed up, when the pressure's coming, when you need to deliver, that's when quarterbacks separate themselves. Shedeur didn't just deliver. He delivered with style, adding that signature celebration that had the entire stadium buzzing. The second touchdown was even more impressive. 2nd and 12, floating a perfect pass to Luke Floria for a one-handed catch that ended up on every highlight reel. That's not just arm talent. That's anticipation, timing, and the kind of chemistry you usually don't see until year 2 by halftime. Shedeur had 11 of 18 completions, 103 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Panthers' defense, which was supposed to test these young quarterbacks, looked completely lost trying to figure out his rhythm. But here's what really separates great quarterbacks from good ones: the 3rd quarter. Most rookies hit a wall when defensive coordinators make adjustments at halftime. Not Shedeur. If anything, he got better. The 25-yard strike to Brendan Bates off play action? That wasn't luck. That was reading the safety, understanding leverage, and placing the ball where only his receiver could get it. The defender was in perfect position, and Shedeur still found a way to complete the pass. And let's talk about that pocket presence everyone's raving about. Every time pressure came, Shedeur's eyes stayed downfield. He wasn't looking to scramble for the sake of scrambling. He was buying time to make plays. That's veteran-level decision-making from a rookie who's played exactly 1 NFL game. The numbers tell the story: 9 offensive drives, 0 interceptions, and a team that looked completely different with him under center. This isn't just about individual performance. This is about elevating everyone around you. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn, and this is what is Browns management really thinking after the game, when reporter Cam Wolfe caught up with Shedeur, expecting to hear confidence and bravado. What did we get instead? Humility, self-criticism. A quarterback who graded his own performance a C+ despite throwing 2 touchdowns and leading his team to a dominant victory. "I feel like I let Pop down a little bit," he said. Pop being Shedeur Sanders, his father, and college coach. Think about that mindset for a second. This kid just had the best preseason debut by a Browns quarterback in recent memory, and his first thought is how he could have done better. But that's not false modesty. That's the mentality of someone who's never satisfied, someone who's always looking to improve. And in the NFL, that's exactly the kind of mindset that separates franchise quarterbacks from everyone else. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: the Dak Prescott comparison. DJ Shockley brought it up during the broadcast, and it's more relevant than you might think. Dak was a 4th-round pick who took advantage of injuries ahead of him to grab the starting job and never let go. Shedeur was a fifth-round pick in the exact same situation. Kenny Pickett's hamstring injury opened the door, and Shedeur didn't just walk through it. He kicked it off its hinges. Here's the historical context that should have Browns fans excited. The last player drafted in the 5th round or later to start Week 1 for his team was Randy Hedberg in 1977, 48 years ago. If Shedeur continues on this trajectory, we're not just talking about a feel-good story, we're talking about history. But let's be real about what's really happening behind the scenes. Kenny Pickett's hamstring injury was supposed to be a minor setback. Dillon Gabriel was brought in as the developmental prospect with upside. Joe Flacco was the steady veteran presence. And Shedeur? He was supposed to be the project, the raw talent who needed time. Well, that timeline just got thrown out the window. Sources around the Browns training camp have been quietly noting how Shedeur has been putting in extra work after practice, arriving early, staying late. While other rookies are still figuring out the playbook, he's already asking coaches about advanced concepts and situational football. And now, after this performance, those conversations are going to change dramatically. You can't unsee what happened Friday night. You can't ignore the way he controlled the game, the way veterans responded to him, the way he made difficult throws look routine. The Panthers, to their credit, didn't make excuses after the game. Multiple Carolina players and coaches praised Shedeur's performance, acknowledging that he looked like he belonged. When your opponents are giving you props after your first NFL game, that says something about the level you're playing at. But here's what really has Browns management in a difficult position. They didn't expect this level of readiness this quickly. The plan was probably to let Shedeur develop, maybe see some garbage time, get his feet wet slowly. Instead, he just showed he might be their most NFL-ready quarterback right now. Kenny Pickett looked good in limited action, but he didn't look like he just commanded a 30-point victory. Dillon Gabriel has struggled with consistency in training camp, throwing multiple interceptions and having trouble in red zone situations. Shedeur, meanwhile, just orchestrated 9 scoring drives in his first NFL appearance. So what happens now? That's the question that has Browns management in meetings they weren't planning to have. Do you stick with the veteran in Pickett? Do you continue developing Gabriel? Or do you ride the hot hand with the rookie who just proved he can handle NFL pressure? The smart money says they're going to give Shedeur more opportunities. You have to. When a 5th-round rookie outperforms expectations by this margin, you don't put him back on the shelf. You find ways to get him more reps. And that's exactly what Browns fans should be excited about. This isn't just about one game. This is about a mindset, a preparation level, and a natural football instinct that you can't teach. Watch the film again. Look at how he processes information. See how he moves in the pocket. Notice how he communicates with receivers and adjusts protection calls. This isn't a rookie figuring things out. This is someone who already understands the game at a high level. The comparison to Dak Prescott isn't just about draft position. It's about seizing opportunity when it presents itself. Dak didn't become a franchise quarterback because he was the most talented player in his draft class. He became one because when injuries gave him a chance, he was ready to take advantage. Shedeur Sanders just proved he's ready too. But let's not get carried away. This is still one preseason game. There will be tougher defenses, more complex game plans, and situations where his inexperience might show. The difference is, after Friday night, we know he has the tools to handle those challenges. The pocket presence is real. The arm talent is obvious. The leadership qualities are already emerging. And most importantly, the mental approach, that combination of confidence and humility, suggests someone who's going to continue improving. Browns fans, you've been waiting for a franchise quarterback for decades. You've seen promising starts that didn't pan out, veteran acquisitions that disappointed, and draft picks that never lived up to expectations. This feels different. This feels like the beginning of something special. Shedeur Sanders didn't just have a good preseason debut. He announced himself as a legitimate NFL quarterback. The question now isn't whether he's ready to contribute. It's how quickly he can take over. And based on what we saw Friday night, that might happen sooner than anyone expected. What we witnessed wasn't just a preseason victory. It was the emergence of Cleveland's next franchise quarterback. While management scrambles to adjust their depth chart expectations, one thing is crystal clear. Shedeur Sanders is ready for whatever comes next. The 5th-round steal just became the Browns' most valuable asset, and the ripple effects are only beginning. What do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders ready to start Week 1, or does he need more development time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Browns Insider content, because this quarterback competition just got a whole lot more interesting.